Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another Tuesday night edition of the Muskogee Rougher Football Coaches Show, live from Runts Barbecue. And Coach, you've had an extra day. You've had an extra 7 days to go from Game 3 to the opening of the district race.
Yeah, and it's been great to have the time to practice, but I can certainly tell you after today, I think everybody's we're tired of practicing and ready to go play.
Tired of going against somebody, your own people.
Yeah, you're sitting on losses, and I've always felt like after a loss is when I'm ready to go back out and get at it and try to go win a game.
What advantages can you, other than just having extra time to maybe work out some of the injuries and also to polish performances, what are the other things that you've had into your 14-day plan?
Well, when you play 0 week, what I thought, and with everything being new, we just didn't have ample time to get the offense ready. And so we've definitely used this time to just really rep a lot of offensive things for the 2 weeks. And we've prepared for Ponca City in some degree both weeks. So it's much needed, and I feel like we've benefited greatly. Now, that question will be answered Friday night, but we fully expect that things are going to look a lot different for us offensively.
Well, certainly, I mean, the thing that has been impressive to me has not been one single drop in the intensity level of the players. I mean, you've gone 0-3, and sometimes in today's world, if I want it right now, you sometimes can find second-guessers or people that begin to doubt themselves or the plan. That hasn't shown its face in the Rougher camp.
No, and you definitely get that pressure from a lot of different areas. You get it. You start to question in your own mind.
Right.
Are we not that good? I mean, what's going on here? But at the end of the day, I've told our players, many of them on the roster have won and performed at a high level. Many of our coaches have won and performed at a high level, and we're all together. And as long as we continue to trust each other and trust the process that we're going through, then we're gonna figure this thing out and find a way to get on a roll.
When you guys started in the preseason game plan preparation, you set some goals out in front for your football team. All of those goals are still achievable despite the record.
Yeah, Coach Bryant said it yesterday after the defensive practice that everything that everything's still in front of us. And so, that's the hard part to keep in your mind, because when you're 0-3, because I've never been 0-3, it does not feel good. Even though you've been beat by some really good teams, there's a point there when you're ready to get it turned around. And I think I'm not the only one. I think there's a lot of us in the room. We're ready to go out Friday night and get things going in the right direction. And these are the ones that count. These are the ones that are going to count for the playoff seedings. And you're trying to go win a district championship, which is one of our goals, and this game is a big one.
It is.
We're not starting off with a bum of a team to go play. These guys are, they're clicking at about
Ponca City's coming in 2-1 and averaging 50-plus points a game.
57 points a game. So, we've got a challenge in front of us, but it's a game that we feel like we're going to have a great chance if we go do what we can do.
Well, with today's social media and everybody asks questions of what's wrong with the Roughers and all this kind of business, what I have been impressed with the Muskogee community, and I know you felt it when you spoke to one of the civic clubs last week, there's still that belief, there's still that desire, and it's because there is an expectation of winning. It's not just, it happened one time. No, the community expects it, the players expect it, the coaches expect it, and it's just kind of the overall DNA of the football program in Muskogee to win on Friday nights.
Yeah, and they've been. I feel like overall, I don't live on social media, but I'm on there some, and there's a lot more encouraging things still being said than negative, and even the ones that say the negative, I'm okay with it.
Right.
I mean, as long as they don't go after the players, that's okay. That's part of what we do, and we kind of understand that, but. The overall vibe from this community is that they're still very hopeful. I think they still trust that we can go get this thing done and get it going in the right way.
So now you head into the district race. You start with another road trip. I mean, this will be game number 4. You played in front of the hometown only one time.
Yeah, that part's been a little bit tough because I really I love our facility, I'm ready to experience a big win there, and it's going to have to wait because we're going to go a couple hours away, and we can't let any of that bother us. I mean, we got to glue in and use that time to mentally focus and be ready when we get there and take care of business.
We're going to take our first time out. When we come back, we'll give you a chance to get to meet another member of the coaching staff, another member of the Condict family that's a part of Ruffer football. Austin Condict joining his dad, Dale, and myself in this upcoming segment. We're going to talk about a story that is beyond the game of football. But first, this time out on the Tuesday night Ruffer Football Coaches Show live from Runts Barbecue.
Ugh, my brother and sister left me again. They went back to school. Can you believe that? But don't worry, they still call me every morning, thanks to their brand new phones from Bravado Wireless. My sister even dropped hers in the pool, but Bravado's trade-in help has her covered. And my brother, he's flexing with the new iPhone 16 Pro Max. Like, how cool is that? Mom and Dad got deals too. Bravado's unlimited plan saved the whole family money.
A super time to buy September savings at J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. Buy a new Silverado 1500, take $10,000 off MSRP. Shop over 60 used from $16,965. September savings top the list. Don't overpay. Come see Jay. New Silverado, $10,000 off. Over 60 used from $16,965. At J. Hodge Chevrolet in Muskogee. 144 West Shawnee.
This land was a tapestry of Indian nations and tiny towns that grew into great cities. Bank First is loyal to the shared mission of growth and success that built Oklahoma. That's why in more than 50 communities statewide, our banks are run by local leaders who stick together and work hard to continue unlocking Oklahoma's great promise. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
In times of need, it's comforting to see faces of people you know and trust. Cornerstone Funeral Home in Muskogee cherishes the opportunity to be there for you and your family in life's most challenging times when friends are most important. Cornerstone Funeral Home and Crematory welcomes the opportunity to answer any questions regarding planning and pre-arrangements for you and your loved ones. Experience the difference. Cornerstone Funeral Home, 1830 North York in Muskogee, where you'll find faces you know and reputations you trust.
Welcome back on the Tuesday Night Coaches Show. We're live from Runts Barbecue. We talk about a lot of X's and O's, Dale, in our weekly Coaches Show of how to win a football game. But you and Austin, who's sitting right to your left, you guys have a story that will go far beyond the game of football. It's been the game of life, and it's an interesting story that has been well documented. But I want you and your son to kind of share some of that reflection of a 2015 season that was one for the ages.
Yeah, well, it was definitely a very trying time. You hear stories about things that people go through, and a lot of times you can't imagine how they press through it, and you can't imagine yourself having to go through that. But and to start with, in 2015, my dad was towards the end of his battle with colon cancer, and we had moved him in with us, and just shortly after that happened, then Austin was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and that was in, I guess the diagnosis was in February of 2015.
Mm-hmm. How old were you then?
I had just turned 16 years old.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So when that message came, did it come from Dad, or did the doc actually talk to you?
Well, what actually happened was I kind of knew something was going on, and I had told my dad, and he knew something. He knew it wasn't right. So we go to the doctor. I think it was just a family doctor, and they checked it out, and they sent us straight to the oncologist or urologist.
Went to the urologist.
Urologist, and I mean, it was just, they did a test, and about 30 minutes later, they came back, and they told me I had a tumor.
Ultrasound and...
Yeah, all of it.
And then they tell him, he tell me that we've got to set some things up here in a hurry and get this taken care of. And, a lot of times when, and people who have gone through this understand that, man, you don't always get this thing going. Let's get it taken care of and get treatment going. And, you're not always able to get that in
Exactly.
a speedy way. But just so happened that, we go across the road in Broken Arrow to the cancer facility there. My dad was in the process of having brain radiation treatment that day. So we get to go across the road and let my mom know that not only are we about to lose my dad, that now my son has cancer as well. But during that meeting, and God sets you up in some amazing ways.
Yep.
But that facility didn't normally take people under the age of 18. But we were me and Austin were there to see my dad, and the oncologist in there, Dr. Musa, said, I can help your son. He said, I've dealt with that, and I said, I can help with treatments, and we can get him well. And so we didn't wait. We had surgery the next, he went and had his surgery the next day, and we started treatment that next Monday.
Most kids he said he just turned 16 years of age.
Yeah.
Most 16-year-olds, you're more worried about girlfriends. You're more worried about what kind of car am I going to get to drive.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that and keep the positive outlook that I saw you and your dad and the entire Condict family hold close to one another, and a community that held close to you too? But you always seem to have the optimistic outlook. That's the best way I can say it.
Well, I could say, for one, it happened so quick. There wasn't really enough time to sit and think about it. We knew we had to get on top of it and get it fixed, but I think for me, the two biggest things that kept me positive was, first, my grandpa.
Yeah.
And for me to see him go through everything he went through and not one time hear him complain, not once, I knew that meant something. And if he could do it, there was no reason I couldn't do it. And then, of course, having my dad, too, and my entire family.
Right.
Just always know, we have battles, we have things placed in front of us, but we know that we're not going to let it stop us, and we're going to beat it. That's what I guess that's always how I've been raised. Whenever you're losing, you don't think about you don't think, why am I losing? You just think, how can I win? And I think really that just being taught that and always living that really helped a lot.
Oh, obviously, it impacted the family. It impacted you guys to the core. But it was interesting for me to see and have a chance to, engage with you too, how the entire community of this area and anybody that was related with high school football had an eye on what was going on with you,
really
while the big man upstairs took care of everything.
The coaching fraternity around the state, the community of Wagner was unbelievable to us. The people from Muskogee, all the entire area really wrapped their arms around us. Austin talked about my dad not complaining. I never heard Austin complain or act like he was put out about the thing the whole time through. And obviously for parents, not even a close second on the toughest thing I've ever had to go through. And, I'll tell our listeners too, Bill, I don't forget, and I will always remember that you came to Wagner. You made a special trip and came over, and you prayed with me over this, and it will always, that's always been very important to me.
Well, you do what you've been raised to do,
Right.
And that was my background.
And that's why, we're sitting here 0-3, and I'll get to feeling sorry for myself, and I'm like, it's challenging. And I'll stop and think, guys, this is nothing.
Yeah.
This is nothing. And those that are out there that are going through it, and so many families have been affected by cancer, and it's such a horrible thing. But, there's hope.
He won the battle, and I think
10 years removed now.
10 years
10
removed.
years.
But I think that season was rewarded in the best way it could have happened. A 2015 state championship, and it came down to Wendell.
Last play, we had a 4th and 5 play, and we had a documentary film crew following us the entire season. That, oh man, the amount of just pressure that wasn't just about winning, but it was about beating this dark feeling of cancer over you,
right?
And have something glorious happen at the end of it. 4th and 5, and Malcolm Rodriguez throws a fade route to the corner to Nakia Jones, and he jumped up and grabbed it like he always does, and we won the game.
Won the Bull Ball, and the trophy was handed to Austin, and I don't think I've seen a bigger smile on your face before and since.
I was pretty happy about it.
The pictures are awesome to look back on and see those moments. let's not dwell on that any longer because it is a story that's been well documented, but it's certainly one worthy of to have been mentioned. But I want to talk about from that point on. Mm-hmm. You decided you were going to win the battle of life, but you were also going to become a football coach. You knew when that you wanted to be just like Dad.
Well,
or just like Grandpa.
I'll tell you this. When I went to college, I had initially planned to go more of the medical route. Mm-hmm. And I think it had a lot to do with I got into fitness and exercise big time after all my stuff because I wanted to be healthy.
Right.
And when getting into that, I said, well, how can I make money? My mom did physical therapy, so I went for physical therapy. And I job shadowed, and I knew it just wasn't what I was born to do. And I just knew it. I think that for me, I want to be in a competitive environment where there's a lot of emotion involved. And I love physical therapy. It changes lives. But I just wanted something where I could get that competitive drive because I think that's just what I've always lived on it. And it's an addicting feeling, but it's one of the most satisfying feelings I believe that you can get is going for something and achieving it. All the emotions around it, it's what I've always lived in. And so I knew I'd say my senior year of college, I knew I was just physical therapy just wasn't quite it.
You were looking for excellence at those.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. You need to come back. You need to come back to Dale and Sherry's and break down some more film and decide on what play was going to be called.
I knew I was probably meant to do it whenever the biggest thing I did at NSU was our powder puff. It's like every time we did powder puff, that was the most. I put all my effort, all my chips into that whenever we did that.
Okay, now you're coaching linebackers.
Yes, sir.
And pretty good guy to have in that position too. And you got a couple of them that are here with us tonight that are just pretty important too. Talk about those two guys to your left.
Well, to my left we got Arias and Harkin.
Arias Parrish and Caden Harkin?
Yes, sir. Arias plays will backer, and Harkin plays outside linebacker. They've been great. First, I mean, just right off the bat, you could tell that they're ready to get back out there and be competitive. Very physical football players, very physical. Getting downhill, aggressive tackling. They've been very enjoyable to have in that room.
Is it an advantage for you to have Travis to intercede between you and Dad from time to time? We're talking about defensive coordinator Travis Brunts.
It is a little bit.
Travis, how about for you, Dale? Same way?
I think it's more important to have Austin to intercede between me and Travis. we're kind of like brothers, and so it gets me and him we can get after each other a little bit. But yeah, the thing I've enjoyed watching Austin is the care he has for the athletes he's coaching. He deeply cares for them as people, and he understands the important part of doing this profession is the impact you're going to have on people through your relationships. And
well,
and both of these two guys you get to talk to them here in a minute. But man, we keep bringing guys on here, and that's why I have such great hope for this season. Is we have some high character guys.
We really do.
And these are two more of them right here.
Well, certainly a high character guy to your left, a guy that carries your name.
Yeah.
And going to be a big part of the success of the Rutherford football program, not only this season but in the years to come. Austin Condict, along with his dad, our guest here in this segment. We're going to talk back, and we're going to give you a chance to meet the young man that wear the numbers 25 and 44. You figure out which one wears which when we come back to Runts Barbecue on the Tuesday night Muskogee River Football Coaches Show.
Pain is temporary, pride is forever. At Excel Therapy, we want to be your athlete's advocate for excellence. We offer treatment methods that focus on strengthening muscles and improving flexibility to improve your overall performance. And when injury sets in, Excel Therapy can aid in the recovery process. We know it's important to get back in the game, so trust the comeback experts, Excel Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. With 16 locations and no physician referral required, you can begin healing today. Look for us online at exceltherapyok.com.
In sports, having the right winning strategy is often the difference between winning and losing. The same is true when you need legal representation. For more than 15 years, the law offices of Michael A. Finnerty have successfully provided the winning strategy with excellence and integrity for the people of the Muskogee area in matters of personal injury, Social Security disability, and workers' compensation issues. The law office, Muskogee trusts Michael A. Finnerty, ready to develop a winning strategy. Michael A. Finnerty, 436 Court Street in Muskogee. Call 687-1155. Online at finnertylaw.com.
Runts Barbecue serves up hand-rubbed, slow-cooked goodness. Anytime you're feeding a few hundred, hey, we're just tailgating with friends. Call the experts, Runts Barbecue. Ribs, brisket, burnt ends, mouth-watering hot link, and smoked chicken, where everything is made from scratch, from the barbecue sauce to the banana pudding. Give us a try, and you won't be disappointed. Runts Barbecue, 918-681-3900. Runts Barbecue, slow-cooked goodness in Muskogee.
Pioneer Abstract, proudly serving residential and commercial customers throughout Muskogee County since 1905, serving banks, mortgage companies, and mortgage brokers with refinancing, purchase, 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, along with full escrow services and more. Pioneer Abstract offers the convenience of centralized services for escrow accounts, title insurance, and title searches. Pioneer Abstract, here yesterday, here today, and here tomorrow at 412 West Broadway in downtown Muskogee, or call Pioneer Abstract at 683-2904.
Welcome back, everybody. We're live from Runts Barbecue each and every Tuesday night from 6:30 to just past the top of the hour at 7 o'clock on Rupper TV, as well as on our radio partner, Okie Country 1017 KTFX. Coach Condict, we talked a moment ago about the guys that wear the jerseys number 25 and 44. Let you put a name with the number of the guys to your left.
Well, to my immediate left here is number 44, Caden Harkin. He plays outside linebacker. And then just on the other side of him is Arias Parrish, number 25, and our leading tackler right now.
Leading tackler and didn't even play in Game 3.
That's right. Arias has gotten off to a tremendous start. Very active, very athletic inside linebacker. And then Caden, of course, the returning starter and great leader.
86 tackles last year for Caden.
And he is playing in a little bit different position. This week he'll like a lot more because he's going to get to be a little more down in the box, which I think he likes, but very versatile.
Arias, talk a little bit about your position and what you feel and how you look at your responsibilities in the Ruffers defensive scheme.
See, I'm still trying to get acclimated in being an inside linebacker because last year I was an outside linebacker. So trying to get focused on my role and stuff like that and just trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. See, I gotten better at it, just doing it, being an inside linebacker and finding my holes. Because this year we're set on our holes, hitting the gaps, going hard, and just being a good player.
He's figured it out pretty quick.
I think from the sounds of his voice, he's got that confidence, swagger about him.
He has 26 tackles.
26 with 3 tackles for loss and a couple of sacks.
Yeah.
Probably should have been 3 sacks, but I know Coach McNack is very stingy in giving out those sacks.
Well, then, because he wants to keep that record. So you had last year they were in a 4-3 defense. So now we're in a 3-4.
Right.
So the linebacker alignment is a little bit different, but. It's the linebacker in either one of them are playing linebacker.
All right, so now, Kate, let's talk the difference between what Arias describes from his position to where your responsibilities lie with the Ruffer defensive scheme.
Really, I'm just protecting the outside and just making sure nothing gets outside of me. And running backs that's flaring out in the flat or whatever, I got them covered on certain coverages. So that's really just what I am. I'm just making sure nothing gets out of me.
So what are you looking, when you look across the line, everybody has keys. Offensive linemen have keys on who they're going to go block. Defensive players have the same. What are your keys?
Really, just the running back and really just tackles, where the tackles is going. I'm reading the tackles and then I'm cross reading to the back.
Arias, Caden, for both of you, how do you not let your eyes get to following the guy you're assigned to key off of and get caught looking the wrong way and be left out there on an island?
See, I know my key is just the running back, and I keep my eyes on the running back. And anything, if it's a pass play or anything like that, I keep my eyes on the three receiver.
Okay.
So that's why the offensive coaches, they start sending all this motion and shifts, and that's why we do it. We're trying to get them to get their eyes wrong, to get a little distracted, and it's not always easy.
Kaden, how about for you?
Really, it's just I really feel them out with my hands. Like, I don't know, I guess it's just I see them coming like out the corner of my eye or something, but I'll feel around with my hands and see if somebody, I know, the rip or something like that.
Haven't seen the games in person, but looking at a lot of the game film since then, you guys play with a little bit of a physicality approach.
Yeah.
Talk about how you try to impact physicality to each and every approach to making another stop. Kane, we'll start with you.
Well, you need physicality to make a stop in the first place. So if you're not physical, then, I mean, the ball's just going to get ran right past you. And then also, I mean, you keep hitting somebody hard enough, they're going to give up. So that's what we're really trying to do.
Arias?
Physicality is like implemented in my whole life. It's like my dad, he implemented that like harsh on me. And when I try to do my stuff, like when I want to be like, what is it? Try to go hard. I just try to go hard. Every play, every down. No stops. Don't stop. Keep my feet like moving. Just keep it moving.
Who's the most physical guy on the defensive unit? We talked a couple of weeks ago with Kyron Copen, giving him the accolades that he was the strongest guy, perhaps, on the team. Who's the most aggressive guy, the most physical player on every football snap?
Probably Coda. Yeah, Coda's very physical. Yeah. He'll come down hard, so that's probably who I'll give it to. Him or Cope.
Okay. Arias?
I'll say the same thing, him or Cope.
But you got to be pretty physical to eat what you tried to devour a moment ago. I mean, there's a little bit of this.
Listen, I tried it. I did not finish it.
It's cowboy nachos? Is that
Cowboy fries.
Cowboy fries.
It's like a mountain of food.
It was unbelievable.
I got to finish it.
I thought it was like a family.
You thought he and Caden were going to share off the same plate?
A lot of food.
Caden, how about you? What was on your menu order tonight?
I had a 3-meat combo, so I think I got ribs, chopped brisket, and a hot links.
Kind of tells you they got a defensive approach to everything that they do.
It's a lot of food. It's good stuff, too.
But two really well-spoken young men, very observant of their responsibilities, and guys that go out there and carry the rougher flag to the best of their abilities.
We're fortunate to have guys like this, and I know they keep me excited about the future, and you know, this season it's still young. We're just now fixing to start the meat of it, and
right.
So big game Friday night though.
Big game, guys. All your goals still in front of you. What's the first thing that you want to see happen, Caden?
First thing I want to see happen is us win a game. I mean, we're 0-3, and that's a real tough position. So really, just we need to go out there and win a game.
Arias?
Change. First thing I want to see is change in everybody's hearts and just mine. Like, we need to lock in for this game that's coming up next week, the week after next, and just yeah.
Everything starts over. We're starting over. It's 0-0 now.
Yes.
Everything counts for real, though. Mm-hmm. So you got to bring your best each and every snap. Appreciate you guys joining us here tonight, and let's go get that win number 1 on Friday.
Yes, sir.
Arias Parrish on the end. He wears number 25. Caden Harkin wears number 44. Both those guys got a little bit different hairstyle than the two of us, though.
I don't know anything about hairstyle.
We're not going to talk about it.
I'm jealous.
We're not going to talk about anything more about the hairstyles. We're just going to let these guys show their style Friday night when they go to Ponca City. Speaking of Ponca City, we'll come back and talk with the coach of the Ruffers, Dale Condict, about the game plan for getting win number 1 of the 2025 season on the road against the Wildcats in Ponca City. We'll do that after this timeout on the Ruffer Football Coaches Show live from Runts Barbecue.
Have you been injured as the result of a car accident? Has your family been impacted by the death of a loved one caused by someone else's negligence? Whatever you're dealing with, you don't have to face it alone. At 222 Injury Lawyers, our dedicated personal injury attorneys are here to fight for the justice and compensation you deserve. Call 918-528-0222.
Proudly serving the elderly of the Muskogee community, Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center is a skilled nursing facility empowering better living through long-term care as well as many other respite care options. And coming soon to Broadway, the Memory Care Unit. At Broadway Care Rehabilitation, the amazing therapy department can help you or your loved one get back on their feet. Contracted with most major insurances, follow them on Facebook and see many of the enriching activities offered to the residents. Broadway Care Rehabilitation Center, proud to support the Muskogee Roughers.
The world of education is driven by numbers. So is the one company more schools and universities call on when fire or water damage strikes. 1-800-SERVPRO. The number one choice in commercial cleanup and restoration.
When it matters most. The name to remember? ServPro of Muskogee. 918-913-4490. Online at servpro.com.
There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com. There's never been a better time to find a great deal on a sedan, truck, or crossover at Nissan of Muskogee. Call 918-683-6605 or go to nissanofmuskogee.com.
Folks, Kyle Edwards, GMC in Muskogee. I was born and raised in Muskogee. Our family has owned the GMC dealership for over 50 years. We take great pride in being in the Muskogee community. Things have changed over the years, but one thing remains the same, our desire to take care of our customers. Looking for a new GMC truck or SUV? We've got them, and you have our commitment to give you the best buying experience around. From sales, parts, or service, we are here for you. You have my promise to give you the best selection, best price, and the most for your trade-in at 1600 North Main in Muskogee or KyleEdwardsGMC.com.
Welcome back at Runts Barbecue, the home of the Tuesday night Muskogee Rougher Football Coaches Show. And there's just a smattering of meat left on that big bone of the fried pork chop.
Yeah, it's amazing how fast 2 minutes goes.
It's amazing how fast to watch everybody eat during during those commercial timeouts. Let's talk now about the opponent at hand, the most important game of the season, because it's the start of the real season. Everybody across the state, teams are 3-0, teams are 2-1, 1-2, 0-3. There's a lot of people that are in different emotional moments of their season, but everybody starts for real this Friday night.
Yeah, it does. And just, the feeling in our world is that we need to go get a win. And, of course, not just for the district play, but for the overall morale. You put so much time and effort.
Right.
We're prideful. I mean, we're used to winning. So, I think it's very critical that we go out and play well and get a win over a very quality team.
You're going to go into a hostile environment because Ponca City's excited about their season. They're off to a 2-1 record. Lost last Friday night in a shootout at Lawton MacArthur, 60-57 in overtime. But it's an offense that do a lot of different things, and it's a defense that will be quite physical because a lot of those players come off the wrestling squad.
Yeah, that's what we've been told. And but they really had every opportunity to beat Lawton Mac. Kind of led the entire game and fumbled the ball in overtime that cost them the game. So, they could very easily be 3-0, and they're averaging 57 points a game. And, the positive, I guess, is that they gave up 60. So, you're hoping you can get some things going offensively. But, they run a much different offense than you see in today's world. Some of the older guys that are, my age and older, they'll enjoy probably watching some of that old school, like, come up with some unbalanced shift, run the ball right at you, a lot of misdirection, traps, and kind of some wing tee type concepts that, they're happy with making 3 or 4 yards and then just marching the ball and keeping it away from you. And it makes it, it can make you anxious if you let them go on 7-8 minute drives.
Well, they share the ball to a lot of different running backs, quarterback Johnston Berg, Bam Bam Coleman is, I think, the leading rusher. What a name for a running back.
I saw that name.
But here's the thing. You talked about the different personnel that they use running the football and how they try to get you all focused in on the run game. But then your eyes get to watching too much the running game, and then all of a sudden there's a guy out there on the edge, and he's got an open lane and a lineman that's downfield leading the way for big gains in the passing game.
They'll hand it and trap it and misdirection, and they'll keep pounding and then next thing you know, they're going to fake it, and then they run a couple guys out on a route, and your secondaries now they're getting sucked down there trying to help with the run game and then get their eyes wrong, and you got a guy running wide open. But I've noticed too, man, the quarterback, when he does throw, he's very accurate. And so it's not like they're unable to throw.
Right.
They're capable of throwing the ball as well.
On the defensive side, aggressive-minded might be a good way to define the Wildcats of Po High. One young man that's a defensive back, Ariel Moore, he's a 3-year starter in that secondary. He's just one of a handful of guys that are back over there that have made this defensive successful so far.
Yeah, and they're very, they run a 3-3 stack defense, and they like to move their linebackers around and blitz them, and they'll line up in some different coverages and things. So, they're active. They're good tacklers. They play really hard. But again, I feel like just from what we've seen of our own group the last couple of weeks, we'll have a chance to move the football.
Well, certainly it's been a blessing for the Ruffers to have this extra week of preparation to get everybody healed up, and that's the good news coming out of the training camp of Coach Leo Krajewski. Caden, that's how you pronounce that, by the way. It doesn't spell that way, but that's how it's said. Coach Leo tells us it's thumbs up as far as health is concerned.
Yeah, I think most of the guys that have been banged up should be back, so pretty much full tilt on roster.
Keys to going on the road. You've been there twice. Is that a big advantage for you, having traveled away from home into hostile environments, knowing now you're going into a district opponent that wants to beat the Ruffers, and they've been in some very tight games with Muskogee in previous seasons in district play, unable to pick up the victories?
Yeah, I think what is an advantage for going on the road is we've got enough coaching experience and playing experience to know how to handle being on the road. So I don't feel like that should be a big advantage or disadvantage one way or the other. I think the biggest key in this game for us will be our first down defense. I know it seems kind of trivial, but if we let them get 4, 5, 6 yards on first down, they're going to be calling plays exactly the way they want to. If we can get them in second and long, third and long, then we're playing the game we want to be able to play.
And so, just on the opposite side of that coin, the ability for the offense to do the same thing when the Ruffers have the football.
We got to be able to execute. We can't be fumbling the ball. We can't be blocking the wrong guy. Procedure penalties. I think we had 4 of them in our first 2 possessions last week, or the last ball game. So just simple execution, which we've really been working hard on. I mean, we don't only practice every day for 2.5 hours, but we'll come in the next morning, we'll take a bunch of the guys into the office and watch the previous practice with them and go through mistakes made, things we did well, and continue to progress. So we've come a long way in 2 weeks.
Well, the Ruffers going to go a long way on Friday night. They'll make the 2+ hour trip to Ponca City. Game time there in Ponca City is at 7 o'clock. Our pregame show on Okie Country 101.7, our radio partner, as well as here on YouTube, Ruffer TV, begins at 6:30. For head coach Dale Condict, Austin Condict, for Caden Harkin and Arias Parrish, we thank you for joining us on another Tuesday night edition of the Muskogee Ruffer Football Coaches Show from Runts Barbecue. And no matter the outcome of the game, remember each and every day is a great day to be a Muskogee Ruffer.